Significant figures in calculations. Perform the following calculations to the correct number of significant figures. In Part A, we are performing a calculation that involves multiplication, 1.10 times 0.5120 times 4.0015, and I'm going to take all of that and we're going to divide that by 3.4555. When you put this into your calculator, the result you will get is 0.65219. But we have to check this number for the proper number of significant figures. In this first entry, the 1.10, we have 3 significant figures. The next figure has 1, 2, 3, 4. Next has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And lastly, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Applying the rules for multiplying or dividing, we know that our final answer should have the number of significant figures that is equivalent to the smallest of those in the calculation. So we have 5, 5, 4, and 3. So we have to round our answer to 3 significant figures. Okay, so that's the 6, the 5, and the 2. So we're going to round at this point, and this number becomes 0.652. In problem B, we are performing a series of additions and subtractions. So we have 0.355, to which we're going to add 105.1, and then we're going to subtract 100.5820. Once again, we will get an answer on our calculator that is 4.8730, and we have to round this number. Remember, when you're dealing with additions and subtractions, your final answer will be limited to the number of decimal places in the datum with the smallest number of decimal places, and that's 1 decimal place. So we're going to round this number at this point. And our final answer will round to 4 In problem C, we'll be combining the operations of multiplication, division, and subtraction. We have 4.562 times 3.99870, and we're going to take that and divide it by the result of the operation 452.6755 minus 452.33. One thing to note is that we're going to carry out the operation in the denominator. We'll do the subtraction first and get the result. So when we do that, we have still in the numerator 4.562 times 3.99870, and in our denominator the result of the subtraction is 0.345. However, remember from part B that we have rules for adding and subtracting, and those rules say that this number should be rounded to the number of decimal places in the datum with the smallest number of decimal places. Notice that we have 2 decimal places in that number. We have 4 in this number, so this number should be rounded to the second decimal place. Now we're not going to do that now, because that could lead to what we call round-off error. But instead, we're going to note that this number is only good to the second decimal place, which means that in fact this number in the denominator has only 2 significant digits. And that's very important to note, because at the end of the problem we're going to round to whichever number has the smallest number of sig figs. So let's note that now. This has 2 significant figures. The numbers in the numerator have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is 4. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when we perform the operation, we will obtain an answer on our calculator of 52.79904, but we remember that this is only good to 2 significant figures. So we're going to round at this point, and since the 7 is greater than 5, our answer becomes 53. Now problem D, which we'll just put up here. Problem D likewise has a combination of a multiplication. We have 14.84 times 0.55, and after performing the multiplication, we're going to subtract the number 8.02. The answer of the multiplication is 8.162, but once again we have to ask how many significant figures are in that number. In 14.84 we have 4 significant figures. In 0.55 we have 2. So in fact the 8.162 is only good to the second significant figure. So when we subtract from this the 8.02, we have to take that into consideration. So again, our calculator gives us an answer of 0.142, but we recognize that we have to round this to the first decimal place. And so our final answer is 0.1.